Old World, Florida. Dr. Narco Longo.
Brought to you by the Florida Department of Magic. Welcome to Florida, baby.
Florida is the original Garden of Eden.
Florida has the highest concentration of freshwater springs in the world.
Florida oranges are the golden apples of mythology. A race of giant men once roamed this peninsula. The Smithsonian can suck my balls.
Florida is littered with many ancient megalithic ship anchors, known as Saxor stones.
I'm bringing Sepher back.
Yo, what's
What
up,
up?
everyone? Happy Saturday. Good to see you. Ooh, I gotta change the background.
Oh, is the IBM background still?
There we go. That's better. All right, welcome to the casting couch. Have a seat. We're gonna be talking about Gemini today. We just entered Gemini yesterday-ish. Maybe early this morning. You got the specifics on that, Merlin?
It was actually like midnight 2 days ago. It was it happened like in the evening on maybe the 20th.
Mhm.
Yeah, like a little bit earlier this year.
Cool. Alrighty. So happy Gemini season, everyone. This is our third episode in a series, doing one for each sign of the zodiac. And we're going to be filling in the gaps with, our other shows about this or that. But every time we get a new sign, we're going to do a show kind of reminding people what that sign's all about. As you see in the title, the archetypes, celebrities, and then another big one that a lot of people miss, physiognomy, like face, body type, phrenology, all this kind of does trace back to astrology a little bit. But today is an extra exciting show because our co-host here, Merlin, is a Gemini. So he can bring us some insight into the minds, the attitudes, the personality of Gemini. But yeah, we're going to talk about some movies, some, characters who are quintessential Geminis or in Gemini roles. And yeah. So what's up, Merlin?
Chilling, man. Just busy, but love and life, man. God is good. So yeah, kind of. I took a little nap to work on some beauty sleep before the stream. Obviously, didn't work, but we do what we can. And life's been good. How about you? Your streams with Juan have been kicking off, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, Juan. People are glad to see Juan back.
Yeah, big time.
He, we're all very glad that he was finally allowed re-entry into the United States. Miracle after miracle made that possible. Juanito, yeah, man, ice was not easy on him, but he's back, so we're blessed to have him. And yeah, Thursday is usually what we're going to be doing. Thursday Night Live. Me and Juan.
That's dope. That's a good schedule.
Yeah, and go ahead.
Thursday's such a, who's everyone has their least favorite day of the week. Almost nobody's is Thursday, everybody loves Thursday. It's never, no one's like, oh man, it's fucking Thursday. No, Thursday is great, man. So just random thought.
Yeah, speaking of another Hispanic American who has been off YouTube because of ice, Tartarian Truth. So guys, everyone real quick, if you're a fan of Tartarian Truth, just tell him you're hanging in there with him, and we hope we can get him back to America. Shem was unfortunately deported to Mexico under the Trump administration. He spent time at the alligator Alcatraz, from what I've heard. And so, guys, if you're missing Shem on YouTube, Tartarian Truth, okay, they locked him up for telling the truth. But all right.
Something tells me Shem would not do extremely well in alligator Alcatraz. Maybe he'd excel. Maybe he'd excel in prison. Who knows? He seems like a wily fellow.
He'd make great gator bait. TT Tartarian Truth, what's up?
Oh, he's back. Yo, dude. Okay, he has a new channel. Yeah, dude. I would always search for his channel, and it'd be like some other Tartarian Truth would pop up, like some random channel with like 5K subs that was like Tartarian Truth something or other, but it wasn't Shem's channel would pop up. So I'm curious, do you know what happened to his channel? Does he want to talk about it, or is that like?
I think he just got his old channel deleted. That's what actually
Really?
happened. Yeah.
Was it because he was beefing with Archaics like all the time?
I don't know. I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
But
Believe it. Not my business. I'm just a fan.
yeah, I don't know much. He's in the chat. He'll let us know if he wants. But
yeah.
So guys, Gemini, the third sign of the zodiac. We talked about Aries, we talked about Taurus. Now we're on Gemini. Gemini is the twins. The animal or the symbol for Gemini is the twins. I don't know what we'd call the glyph. Does the glyph have a name? Do we know what
I'll look
object
it
that
up.
is?
I don't
Is
think
it like
the
a table?
pillars, maybe?
It's like a table.
Let's see. Yeah. What is the Gemini glyph?
Maybe like a butterfly or something.
Maybe.
Not really.
The Gemini glyph is referred to as it's just the symbol of the twins, is what it's that's like. I guess the immediate look. I always looked at it as like pillars because Gemini is
Yeah.
the arms, not to cut off your flow.
Yeah. No, that sounds right. It seems to have like a little bit in common with the like the Libra symbol a little bit. Not a ton, but air signs, all the air signs kind of have like this parallel line thing going on.
Yeah.
But Gemini is the twins. Now, the symbol or the glyph for Gemini is kind of like we're saying, it's not easily identifiable with like any object or animal. But the twins, I have tried to attribute certain animals to Gemini. I think that the parrot and the pigeon and maybe one or two wading birds, some of the smaller, kind of shorter wading birds, maybe not the very long, tall ones, but certain aquatic birds, and then definitely the parrot, the pigeon, perhaps even the raven. Depends how we're looking at it.
Hmm.
If we're looking at it from the point of view that it talks, it's certainly, Geminian. But people would say, oh, well, ravens pick flesh from dead corpses. And, so maybe that might register as more Capricorn for some people. Like Edgar Allan Poe was a Capricorn, but I'd say in
Sick
their own
fuck,
right,
too.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, he was a twisted puppy.
Really?
Wasn't he a cousin marrier, just like Einstein? Einstein? I think he was.
Man, I don't know.
And like he like his wife, he had like two wives, and they both had like horrible deaths and at like an early age. And like he wasn't a very good whatever. Who am I to judge? I'm not gonna judge the dead. I'm sorry.
Long neck gooses. I don't know about gooses, but maybe swan. Like Natalie Portman. That's a good one that we're going to talk about tonight. Natalie Portman. Gooses. I don't know if I see goose so much. Swan, maybe, because the way that they like tie together and they kind of dance and I don't know. What do you think, Merlin?
Dude,
Animal good.
Pigeon's perfect. Because what are pigeons known for? Carrier pigeons. They literally carry messages, which is the most Geminian thing you can do, because Gemini is the connector. Like your arm allows you to literally bring things together. Geminis like to bring people together, and pigeons literally transmit messages as animals. They were trained to do that. So I mean, I would say pigeon is extremely Geminian. I would say I
Totally
agree with you on that.
Yeah, and they, it's like Mercury, the messenger of the gods. What are we to some of these animals? We're almost like, gods with a lowercase g. We provide, and so I see some people saying dove. Dove is pretty decisively, in my opinion, Libra. It is love, but it also is like peace, like war, coming together, mediation. I see dove as either, Venus or Libra. Love, peace. What do you think?
I hesitate to give dove to any sign because historically, symbolically, the dove is God. You know,
The
like
Holy Spirit.
God, yeah,
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit. So it's like it has to be a bit of everything because the Holy Spirit is in everything, in my opinion. So saying it's just one, but it is all love and peace too. So, but then again, that's God. You know, that's what God wants for you. I think is love and peace. So but I don't know what sign I would put the dove in personally.
You know, I love this one quote by Aleister Crowley, who was a Libra, who was big into Libra symbolism. And okay, he has this great quote where he says, "There is love and there is love. There is the serpent and there is the dove." Right?
Ooh.
It's like people say love. You know, he used love as like a motto, but his love isn't your Hallmark card love. It's not your Valentine's Day love. He's more he's saying like there's the dove love, which is more flowery, romantic, you know, peace, whatever. The serpent love is like the unification of all opposites, the creative act itself, the chemical wedding, the everything, you know, the consummation of the universe in every like living second, which he saw as, you know, the serpentine energy that shamans and all these, you know, people talk about. So the serpent, dove, I think that's pretty on the nose for Libra, because Libra is the serpent in the tree, but also, you know, you're right in saying the dove represents so much and so much benevolence, but remember the dove is kind of like a marker of almost forgiveness or whatever after like a period, not entirely, but after the flood. What is it, a raven and a dove?
Mhm.
um and then doves, turtle dove, I'm not sure if that's a pigeon or what the word is there, but would be sacrificed. They're like one of the few birds that qualified as a valid sacrifice in the temple system. But yeah, I think it's just very Libra, you know, the serpent and the dove. Both, I give both of those to Libra.
Yeah, serpent for sure. And yeah, but the serpent too relates to Gemini because Gemini is so entwined with the caduceus staff.
Okay.
And
If you want
the
to get, if you want to go that deep, I agree. I agree.
yeah, because it's very mercurial and talking about and like but Libra is the culmination of things in a way. Like we were just talking about a bit ago. You know, the Libra symbol is the Omega symbol. It's the end, it's the fall. You
Yeah.
know, like Aries is the alpha on this side of the zodiac, and then over here you've got Libra as the Omega, like the alpha and Omega. And things really invert in Libra, but that's the culmination. That's like the culmination of God's plan, if you want to get really technical with it too. But talking about like a Mercury connection with that and possibly a Gemini connection is, you know, raising the chrism, you know, getting into that right away, you know, and going back to like, you know, the generative principles, love above all, like it's all about, you know, like we're so fallen now. Again, this is like what esoteric scholars believe. You know, you do what you want with your chrism. It's your chrism, right? But you know, so many esoteric scholars believe that like we are so fallen because we are so out of control with like our sexual faculties, essentially. And honestly, we do live in a very degenerate society. But like if you want to literally heal yourself, and that's why the caduceus staff has the snake, is because like your generative faculties, your Scorpio faculties, your snake, it's also in your spine. And again, the spine has mercury in there. There's literal, you know, liquid mercury in your spinal column. So that's the connection I wanted to make, really. But you know, it's like our mercury is like fallen in a way where like we use mercury in harmful ways. Like there are like mercury fillings, you know, we can't, like people are not living as long as they should. And you know, our health is very in a very poor quality compared to what it could be, I think. And again, this is what many scholars like the early 1900s and late 1800s believed. So it's all about like the chrism and you know, that self-healing that regenerates, but instead we are degenerates for the most part today, which is
We talking ejaculation.
pretty much yeah.
So here, when Merlin like, you know, joked about like getting into like that deep of a topic very quickly, and that makes me think of since we got Shem in here, Shem does a mean Robert Sepper interpretation, or not interpretation, imitation, impersonation.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I ever saw Tartarian Truth Channel. He was impersonating Robert Sepper. But
really?
Believe it or not, Robert Sepper's actually calling in right now. And
oh shit.
Yeah, I think he wants to say something.
All right.
So I think Robert Sepper is going to give us a 101 on how to make a Robert Sepper video. Okay.
Sounds good. Let's learn something.
And, Gemini is all about parodying and impressions. So who knows? Okay. Maybe this is a fitting.
Oh, and Dr. Longo, what is your rising sign?
My rising sign is Gemini.
There we go.
Oh, Robert Sepper's on the phone.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Sepper?
Here, hang on. Hang on one sec. Bulgaria is a country located in Eastern Europe. And 5 minutes later, it's like, the semen is supposed to be retained. And then it's like, oh, okay, all right. Every video is about nofap? Like, really? Every single country is about nofap? All right, next video. Korea is an Asian country. Fast forward 5 minutes. By retaining the seed, one can access higher realms. Like, bro, can we talk about Korea? And he's like, the Ainu people of Japan were known for their 5 minutes later. All right, never mind. You guys get the point. Every single video ends with him talking about your jizz and telling, it's just a little weird for me. Every single video circles back to keep your hands off it. Okay. If no one's touching mine, no one's touching yours. Okay. It's like, it's a little creepy. All right. There might be some truth to some of that stuff, but yeah, exactly. Video starts off at Cheesecake Factory, ends up in his fucking sex dungeon. All right. Every video starts off. It's like Polish women like singing and dancing in a circle. And then 30 seconds later, he's like, the ancient masters would remove the entire head of the penis to avoid temptation or some shit like that. But all right. I just had it.
I think the coolest connection, at least for Old World Florida, the channel, is like the Bach saga. Because when it comes to this sort of topic, like when it comes to how the Bach saga and like the people back then in that culture, how they reproduced, there had to have been some of this element to it. And, I love talking about astrological eugenics, being that like maybe, again, live your life and it's all God's will at the end of the day. But like maybe you should try to have children, or more specifically, not have children if they're going to come out with certain configurations, especially Sun, Saturn conjunctions, oppositions, or squares. It's like, why wouldn't you avoid that? But whatever, it's all God's plan. So
interesting. And yeah, I think we can all appreciate the general principle of not wasting your most valuable, assets, your most valuable. The essence of the body is in those fluids, like the essential oil of the body. But why does every single video have to circle back to it? And if our expertise is in like anthropology or something, why do we need to get involved in everyone's bedroom business? It just seems like after a certain point, it's just an obsession with like dragging the viewer into like this sexual territory and like making them sit there with you and like engage in your perversion. Because it's what you see this so much with the LARPing of like these spiritual concepts and like the healing, the ascension, the activation, and then it's like the same shit about not jerking off or like, you know, whatever. There's a better way of saying that, but
Yeah, you're on something because there's something like that's at least tempting about it because it's like something that's genuinely like control. Like again, like if you have like especially if you have a partner, like not having sex is like or like not like controlling it to that extent for like the length of time these people kind of claim is like
and
insane.
and I'm not even against that part of it. It's just why talk about it? Why talk about it? Why do you need to? It's like it's number one, it's like trying to drag everyone into your sex life or
Mm,
vice versa, trying to get up involved in everyone else's sex life. And then number two, it's like this telegraphing, this shouting from the rooftops, I'm interested in sex. It's like, I'm really cool and deep and I'm the super sexual. It's like, all right, cool. You don't have to, you can listen to the Grateful Dead, but when you wear tie-dye shirts and slap stickers on everything, it's just fucking annoying.
okay.
Loses all the charm, loses all the, you know, that stuff should be private. And
Yeah.
I think what Dara, I'm probably guilty of it too, but what Robert Sepper is doing is really profaning the mysteries. That's what he's ultimately doing. Okay. He's, yeah, whatever. All right. Let's move on.
All right.
But Gemini, I think he's a Virgo, Mr. Sepper. But since he came up.
Well,
Now,
oh man, that makes some sense. But go ahead.
he's a Virgo. Now, I guess this makes a little bit of sense because people often associate sexuality with Scorpio or maybe Venus, like, passion and coming together with someone you love. Libra, Scorpio, Venus. Something that people often forget is something that people often forget is the sexual fluids used to be referred to in alchemical literature and like hermetical artwork and writings, the cup of mercury. The cup of mercury. So, Merlin was touching on it a little bit. Like the cerebrospinal system is often associated with Aries, but Mercury itself, I associate Mercury with the sacral chakra. So, Moon at the bottom, Mercury, Venus. Well, yeah, that's right. Moon, Mercury, Venus. Because when you feel love, you don't feel love in your testicles or your bladder. You feel love in your stomach, in your lower abdomen.
Hmm.
Butterflies in your stomach. That's the Venus chakra. Okay. You'll know when that's activated. Activated. I'm loosely using that term. But the Mercury chakra is the one below that. Root is associated with the moon. That's why you like moon someone, right?
Mm.
Mercury is where masculine and feminine exchange, where they plug in, where the USB port, comes together.
Would you consider that the bowels as well, or is the bowels a little bit higher than that? Would you say?
No, the Mercury chakra, I wouldn't plot on like the same as like the organs,
Hmm.
The Mercury chakra is more the sensitive spot, but a couple inches below the belly button.
Hmm.
And it's attached to the sexual organs.
Okay.
So when the two organs come together, you know, male and female come together, that union constitutes like this mercurial, wedding. That's what wedding is, by the way. Wedding,
Wednesday.
Wotan, Wednesday, Wotan,
Yeah.
Odin, all that. Wedding, two things come together. Mercury, Wednesday's in the middle of the week because it's where the two halves of the week merge. Mercury, merge.
Yeah.
But so yeah, the cup of Mercury, that's what they used to call some of this stuff. And people forget that. And since we're on the topic, since we're, whatever, Geminis are often freakier than Scorpios. Geminis are underestimated when it comes to like, use your imagination. Geminis, I've heard some of the wildest stories on like podcasts from a group of women who were all Geminis. And they were like, yeah, we the biggest hoes in the world, yo. Like Geminis, you know. But it's like Selena Powell, you know who that is?
No, who's that?
Oh, good. It's a good thing if you don't know who she is. But a bunch of Gemini hoes,
Okay.
basically. So, all right.
Is that the Call Her Daddy podcast or whatever?
No, I think she's a Leo, which also
Okay.
makes sense,
Yeah.
But
Loves attention.
what can we say about Gemini? We said talked about the animals a little bit. And we got into all this, I guess, because we were talking about the serpent on the tree, the caduceus. There's another one that's like another symbol like that. What's it called? It's like a mushroom. It's like the pharmacist's symbol.
Okay, I'm not
The
familiar.
rod of Asclepius. Is that right?
Well, as far as going to go in a different direction, you want to stick on that for a sec?
Asclepius. Yeah, the rod of Asclepius is like the. Thank you guys. So that is like the pharmacist symbol, which is similar, but the only difference is that the caduceus has two serpents. The rod of Asclepius has one serpent. So that kind of tells us a little something. And since we're on it, I think we should make the distinction. Merlin, you tell me what you think. Between striking snakes or poisonous, like vipers and rattling snakes, I associate with Gemini. Constricting snakes are Libra. The Saturnian influence. Like bondage, tying something down.
Yeah.
Like pythons, anaconda, something that constricts more. Those are like the Libra snakes. The ones that rattle or rely more on their speed or poison, I would put more with Gemini. They're more nimble, more fast. The constrictor snakes are rarely like those really fast ones that the really, really fast ones I'd put with Gemini. The really slow, kind of more and menacing ones, I think personally are the constrictors. There's something just brutal and Saturnian about this fucking puts you in a headlock and
yeah, man. And the movie Anaconda was so good back in. I love that fucking movie. Yeah, I don't know. You put a lot of thought towards animal. Go ahead.
No, sorry.
You put a lot of thought towards animals in the Zodiac way more than I do. But if I had to reinforce your point, when it comes to venomous snakes, words can be poison, words can be venomous, and also the mind can be poisonous as well. Like if you have an ill-affected mind, like your mindset can really hold you back and truly poison your entire being. It can affect your physical health as well. So like if we're tying in poison to Gemini, then yeah, words and the mind are both possibly poisonous if ill-affected.
Yeah. All right. Messenger pigeons. Birds that can talk. Someone else said hummingbirds. I think that's a pretty good.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good Gemini. Or at least Mercury animal. Almost every bird is like loosely identifiable with Mercury. Like most birds are kind of I'd say are in the Mercury class of animals. But because Mercury rules the air, that we breathe, like around us. Jupiter's more like the heavens, and Uranus is more like the I don't know, the expanse of the sky and the stars and you know the celestial realm. But Gemini rules like the air, like around us.
Yeah, 100%, because Gemini also rules the lungs. It rules the arms and the lungs.
Mhm.
And, we literally breathe in air and it's mutable air. So if we take that air, we turn it into words and we turn it like into, it goes into like our corpuscles and our blood vessels and flows throughout our body. So like that's the mutable air that Gemini is. It's in and out.
Totally. So, what else can we say about Gemini? Um, let's talk about some Gemini personality traits. So, Gemini, the third sign, interesting, it's the third sign, but it's associated with, I guess, the number 2 because of twins, right?
Mhm.
So, the twin nature of Gemini, um, Gemini is often associated with bipolarism or what appears to be bipolarism, what could be called bipolarism, borderline personality disorder, maybe, manic episodes. Ma-
Neuroticism. Yeah.
Mania is more of a lunar term, as we've discussed in a couple previous shows. But bipolar is a quintessential Gemini term and concept. Two poles, almost like a thermometer or like the poles of the earth or whatever. Um, that is Geminian, the red and the blue, the two options, right?
Yeah.
Um, but also, so Geminis are often said to have two people in one body. If they're lucky, maybe there's like a million, but two
Yeah.
people, one body. And because of that, they can switch positions, opinions, attitudes, sympathies. They can switch them in the blink of an eye. Another Gemini term that really applies to most, if or all of the air signs is up in the air with the wind. Like Geminis are many great things, but I don't think they're famous for their stability or they don't have a bedrock nature to them like Taurus does.
Oh, yeah, we're flaky as fuck, man. I mean, talk about Gemini stereotypes, like I'm pretty reliable with you in the streaming, but like when it comes to like making plans, like I'm prone to flake. Like that's a very Geminian thing, is like because we have just such shifting tendencies and shifting whims, like what sounds good today might sound like a pain in the ass tomorrow, and that, why not put it off or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of that for sure. Duplicity.
Yeah, there's a dual nature to Gemini. Um, Geminis also, so number one, they're often famous or infamous or kind of get a bad rap for this double sidedness. Many people could describe this as two-facedness, or Geminis may be prone to being two-faced, but a Gemini may be two-faced and not even realize it and not be doing it on purpose. And one of the beauties of the Zodiac is learning not to take things as personally. You can learn to kind of
Mhm.
separate or sort out what is legitimate disrespect and what is kind of just people's natural tendency. So if a Gemini is acting like one person with one group of friends and then comes over to me and is a whole nother person, I'm not going to feel cheapened by that, or I'm not going to feel like it's taking away, versus if I'll just know that's a Gemini's nature. Whereas if, let's say, like a Sagittarius, well, Sagittarius are pretty mutable too. But let's say an Aries is one way with me and a totally another way with another group of friends. Now that may be more easily attributed to he just doesn't like me or them, or something's up. There is something there that should be kind of resolved. But that would just be a, basic example. Geminis have this nature to be inconsistent or so changeable and sometimes adaptable that they might give the impression that they're like a chameleon. Like, oh, who even are you? You were with me saying you love football, then you go hang out with them and you say soccer's your favorite sport. Like,
Mm.
what do you even stand for? You're just kind of so for some people, what I'm getting at here is these are one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons Geminis may get a bad rap. If you haven't noticed, Gemini is often at the top of the list of least liked signs.
Yeah.
So, Gemini and Scorpio are consistently at the top. Sagittarius often makes it in terms of untrustworthiness or people saying, I don't like this type of friend. Gemini and Scorpio are always at the top. In terms of assholes, Sagittarius is often like up at the top but it depends how you look at it, what's your criteria. But so Geminis, this can also be a talent. Geminis make what we're describing here is this kind of inconsistency or this like fractal sense of self. It's great for acting, speaking in public. To speak in public, some of the greatest orators, and again, some people are offended by the notion of like changing how you are to match the crowd. For some people, that's just an offensive topic in itself. Like, why? Some people see that as a virtue to be yourself no matter what. The same way you talk to your mother, you talk to the president, you talk to a homeless man. There's a virtue in that. There's something there. But there's also a value in, some of these, it's a bad example, but some of these Rockefellers or Vanderbilts or some guys who were, this is a terrible example because it's painting the picture that this isn't a good thing, but there have been great orators and speakers and thinkers who've had great success, not just in like manipulating people, but in bridging the gap with others. And, by when they're in front of the White House, they speak a certain way. And then when they go down and they're speaking to these disgruntled workers at a factory who are on strike or something, and they've got grease all over their face, certain, people find great success with, playing the part a little bit or kind of saying, why would I try and represent something so different to these people? There is a value or a virtue. Yep. People say code switching. That's not, this topic is kind of multifaceted because there's totally a terrible way of being a chameleon, but there's also a value in, like they talk about mirroring, if someone knows you're mirroring them, they might get offended or like, why can't you just be yourself? But if they don't know you're mirroring them, they'll think, oh, he's a great guy. It was the best conversation I ever had. He was so receptive. And, if Merlin sits back, I'm going to sit back too. And like, so it's okay if we're kind of ranting here because this is all still in the Gemini territory.
Yeah.
But I brought up the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts as an example because one of the Rockefeller sons, who was not as terrible as his father, one time went out to a warehouse or a whole steel plant or whatever that was on strike. And by sitting down in the mud and eating bread with them and like scraping every last bit of food out of his bowl, that meant more to the people than anything he could have said in his speech. Just the fact that he spent 6 hours of his day not keeping his clothes clean, just kind of maybe it is cheap in like faking it a little bit, but for some people that's worth it and valid. We're Gemini kind of scattering all over the place here, but there's a good Tame Impala lyric that comes to mind, and
What's that?
I don't like Tame Impala. He sucks, but uh, it's this lyric where he's like, "You call that fake or whatever, but maybe fake's what I like." Like, maybe
Mm,
fake is like, okay, you call something fake, so what? There's a lot of value in fake and appearances and things like that. Well, all right. So all that to try and say, um, being a chameleon, when you say it like that, being a chameleon, it sounds like a negative thing. But Geminis have this ability to mirror and to meet people halfway. Like if you're the messenger of the god, if you're the messenger of the gods, are you going to talk the same way to the gods you do to the humans, Or are you going to mediate that message and kind of, you know, you're you're in between the two, right? You have to
yeah.
kind of soften the message or whatever. Here, what do you think about that?
Completely, man. Like I love that you brought up Gemini and mediation because like there's at least me personally, and this is just a Gemini trait in general, but like I love bringing people together and trying to find that common ground and meeting people in the middle. Like not to like overinflate myself too much, but like in my day to day, like I can be a social smoozer. But I love people. One thing in my life that I've learned over time is like I really like more people than I dislike it. I'm big time white pilled on people because what I've learned is like most people are pretty fucking cool if you give them the chance. But it's all about like finding that common ground, which I honestly love doing and am pretty fucking good at. So like I consider that pretty Gemini. And yeah, going back to some biochemistry, Gemini rules the bone sinews as well. So like it's everything that connects your body together. It's a very connective sign. Um can I talk about the signs real quick? Is that cool? Like we were talking about before the stream with Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. Like, so if we look at the zodiac, guys, like Aries is very masculine. It's ruled by Mars, and then the sun exalts. Taurus is very feminine. It's ruled by Venus, and then the moon exalts. And then Gemini is pure Mercury, which is hermaphroditic in general in nature, right? So like Gemini is like neither really masculine nor feminine. Yeah, it's an air sign, so it's masculine, but Mercury itself is a very mutable planet.
And
So, but
all the air signs are pretty gender neutral, by the way.
yeah,
Like Gemini is like neutered, Aquarius is gender neutral, and then Libra is again like masculine, but it's by far the most feminine masculine sign. You know.
yeah, well and Scorpio is the most masculine feminine sign. That's what's so cool about the other half of the zodiac is once you hit Libra, things flip, right? Because Aries opposite Libra, Aries is ruled by Mars, Sun exalts, so it's masculine fire sign. Whereas, Venus rules Taurus, which is very feminine, and then the more masculine Taurus is Libra. So but or rather the more masculine Venus is Libra, but that does make it the most masculine, air sign slash whatever. But then like if you look at Scorpio, right? Scorpio is ruled by Mars or Pluto, but it's technically a feminine sign because it's water, but it's hyper masculine because it's like so sexual, right? So if you think like about like like a hyper sexualized female, pretty fucking masculine. But then again, if a male is very scorpionic and they're backstabbing and killing with poison, well, that's very feminine. So like the other half of the zodiac kind of like flips things on its head. And that's the winter, which if thank you, Santos Bonacci, right? Winter is invierno or inverno, but also that word also has inverse in there. So like the second half of the zodiac takes the first half and like kind of does different things with it. It's very fucking cool.
Hmm.
Sorry, random Gemini aside there.
No, it's perfect. So
Um
go ahead.
Oh, and I mean, we can talk about I want to talk about the third house too, and the metals of the metal Quicksilver. But if you had something else, like we can hit those later.
Oh, I think we covered all the basics. So go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, so let's like third house is co-significated by Gemini, and the moon has joy there, which is cool, right? The third house is extremely Geminian because it's all about commerce. Mercury literally means MERX in Latin, which is merch, which again, merch is a very fun modern youth slang. Merch, you know what merch means, Longo? It's like, yo, merch that. It's like, is it authentic? Which hilariously is not very Gemini, like if you merge something, whatever, it's authenticity. But third house is a very quick house. And the moon exalts there because the moon likes making short journeys. That's the quickest one to transit the zodiac every month, right? But Mercury and Gemini are also very quick, so that's all third house significations. But then another cool Mercury moon connection is the moon rules silver, which is moony, but then Gemini or Mercury rules quicksilver, which is they both have silver in there. And quicksilver is so cool because it is the only metal that's liquid at room temperature, which really kind of symbolizes the mutability of Mercury and of Gemini and Virgo in a way. And what's so cool about Quicksilver too is that Quicksilver is also called philosophical silver. So like there is
Mhm.
another mercurial quality to that metal as well. So it's just super fucking interesting, And then you can get into like what red mercury symbolizes with like occultism, which is so fucking cool too. So yeah, I think all that is pretty fucking fascinating.
Oh yeah, it is. Gemini, you know, recently I've been learning about like John Dee and his obsession with 3 and 4.
Mm,
How 3 is 4. How like the numbers are like they each give birth to the next one.
dude,
Like number 1 becomes number 2, becomes number 3, and you don't really have to stretch it. Like each number contains the germ of the next one, or like the whatever. So he's all about how the 3 is actually 4, or how the Trinity is actually a
the
quadrinity.
tetragrammaton. Like literally Yod He Vow He is 4 letters, but it's only 3 because it's Yod He Vow. So
That's good.
the 3 becomes the 4 literally, and
Yeah.
that's completely embedded in the tarot because the tarot has 10 cards in the minor arcana. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that is the repetition where the last one starts the next sequence. So it's like 3 sets of 4 is the key to the minor arcana, and that is
Mhm.
completely embedded with the tetragrammaton, which is Yod He Vow He, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah. Then also, when you this is gonna sound a little dumb, but when you list if you list 3 things, how do I say this right? If you list 3 things, the 3 is the 4th, or how would we say this? This guy named Alexander Waugh has a great YouTube channel. He goes all into this, but I guess if you're using shape, you can visualize it better. If you take a triangle, right? There's 3 sides to the triangle. There's 3 points. Um, Basically, by using the triangle, he can get 4 out of a triangle. If you take 3 triangles and arrange them, you now have 4 triangles. For example, like there's a triangle
Hmm.
here, triangle at the top. In the middle, there's the negative space is a 4th triangle. So
Okay.
he explains how the nature of 3, that you know inherently has a negative space that constitutes 4. 3 becomes 1, 4. Oh, that's pretty cool.
314. I like that. Yeah.
And so, blah, blah, blah. You can go down this rabbit hole. Not my expertise. But John Dee was very into this. Shakespeare, Edward de Vere. Go check out Alexander Waugh. Wow. Waugh. He was an Oxfordian, meaning he believes Edward de Vere, Earl of Oxford, was Shakespeare. And the 3 and the 4 is like one of the big proofs. But with Gemini, you kind of get the same thing with the 2 and the 3. So the 2 and the 3, and by the way, the 3 and the 4 is where you get 7 and 12, because 12 is the number 12 represents the 3 threes, which themselves constitute 3, and that brings you to 12. So, for example, if you've got 3, 3, and 3, this is going to sound dumb, but those 3 is another 3. I know that's redundant, but when you look at triangles, he shows, yes, 3 triangles gets you to 12, because 3, 3, 3, and whatever. However you get to 12, it collapses back into 3. Yeah. They get it. 1 plus 2 equals 3.
Yeah,
But
it's the triangulation of numbers. So, like, if you take the number 2, the triangulation of 2 is 3 because it's 1 plus 2. And that's like, so that's like a dot and then 2 dots underneath. So, like, if to have an equilateral triangle with a base of value 2, you have 2 dots in the bottom and then 1 dot above that, which is 3 dots. To have a triangle with a base of 3, well, that's 6 because that's 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. So, like, to keep it equilateral, it's the triangulation of numbers, and then all you do is you just sum those digits and then numerical reduction it down to its base value. And yeah, you're completely correct. That's how 9 becomes 3, because if you take the triangulation of 9, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9, add it all up and then reduce it down, that's going to be 3. And that's why 1, 4, 7, and 10 are all 1. Like, they're all this shit's true. It's fucking deep gravy, but it's legit, like, facts. If you go into, like, it can be either called, like, philosophical reduction, or the fucking theosophists hijacked to call it theosophical reduction, but whatever. I fucking hate theosophists.
Yo, the chat's going off. They vibe with the numerology. But all right, Gemini is like the 2 and the 3 because it's the twins, but it's a third sign, right? So there's kind of a story that's being told there about creation, like Merlin was saying, Aries, Taurus, masculine, feminine, Gemini is where they merge. Gemini is the first union in the Zodiac. So the 2 becomes 3 inside of Gemini. Also, when we were talking about the caduceus, that kind of, it's I like to point to the cusp between Virgo and Libra as the medical cusp, like the tree, like in between half. It's the halfway point, because Virgo is like the last sign before it's the verge of the shift.
The last summer sign.
Libra is post shift. So that caduceus, that Lucifer, that tree in the garden, that like super significant mythological archetype, whatever, associated with Libra, it's really in the cusp between Virgo and Libra. And also relating to this cusp between Virgo and Libra, a phrase that I like to associate with that cusp is by the book. By the book. Okay. If we were living by the book, right? I mean, there wasn't a book in the Garden of Eden, but the opposite of sin is by the book. you know, in a sense. Like by the
Yeah.
book is Virgo. Virgo is like goody two shoes. The Virgo is quite literally next to the book, Libro, like by the book. And Virgo's being goody two shoes, Libra right after that being like the opposite of goody two shoes, libertine, liberal
Mhm.
lifestyle, you know, penchant for lying, you know, maybe for whereas Virgo's like, you know, people associate Virgo with the truth maybe as much as Sagittarius. You know, Virgo's considered whatever reliable
Dude,
sign. You know, go ahead.
our world right now, does Saturn love exalting, Saturn, Satan, love exalting in liberal women? I
Yeah,
mean, a fallen woman is how Saturn, Satan has been totally infiltrating our societies. You know, like you were talking about earlier, if we live by the book, the good book, the Bible, which I believe is written in the stars personally, and also like the word of God is written in our hearts. So,
yeah.
like, we know right from wrong, and we live in a world where so much wrong has been happening. Like, I've been seeing your Instagram stories lately. You've been posting about, you know, like these things that have been happening in Florida. You know, it's just like the whatever. I'm not trying to go down the dark rabbit hole, but the two-tier justice system, you know, the complete injustices that like we are allowing ourselves to live through essentially. You know, we know it's wrong, and yet it's happening anyway.
Merlin, you want to take a swing at this one?
Jesse Lee Peterson was right. Women are of the devil. No, women are great. You know, it's just like the devil loves to try and influence women and men, but you know, that's what I think.
I've got the balls to say what Merlin won't. Okay,
Go ahead.
they are of the devil. Okay,
Shit. Bobby Boucher,
women
she's the devil.
women are, how do we say this? Okay, you know, we all have our we all have our weaknesses, but women, it's not that they're animated by the forces of evil, but they are subject to the forces of evil. They are
100%.
they are, you know, there's no nice way to say this. I'm trying, but basically, women, when a man sees temptation, I'm generalizing grossly. He knows it's temptation. And he can only fool himself so much as to the nature of sin and temptation. And with women, there is no end to the amount of uh, excusing the behavior, denying, gaslighting. You know, the only, fuck it. You know, when you try and tiptoe and try and walk on eggshells, you get more trouble anyway. So whatever. But the only holy good force in a woman's life is the positive men in her life. A good woman is only a good woman because she's been in the presence of a great man. And I'm not saying all men are great. Far from it. Women are markers or like thermometers
Mm.
of virtue. Okay. They run the reading of the room, or kind of the strongest presence in the room or in their lives. Um,
Dude, which is completely true because look at society today, how like, you know, the government has become so many people's daddy that like that's now the barometer for right and wrong. And yeah, dude, there's just so much shit going on that
you know,
is like someone said easily influenced, and like there's a lot of that.
women are not guided by logic. Okay. They are not guided by logic at all. They're strangers to logic. You know, women do not have charisma. There's not a single woman on planet Earth that has charisma. Not a single one. You cannot manufacture charisma, even in a man. You can't fake it. In women, they don't even have it. So what does that tell you? What is charisma? The ability to influence others. Okay. So if women don't have charisma, not a single one of them on planet Earth has charisma. What is their, how do they interact with charisma? What is their role in that, chemical reaction? They're easily influenced.
Yeah.
They are easily influenced. Okay. They are the victims of charisma. Okay. And basically that's just one part of it. So they don't have logic, they don't have charisma, so they're at the mercy of both of those. Okay. And they use, we don't want to be like too cliche or redundant. Emotion, feeling from the heart. Women feel societal pressure above all. Okay. They don't want to be singled out. Women are afraid of two things more than anything else: accountability. Okay. Accountability. And what was the other one? I forget.
Being singled out.
Well, it's kind of accountability. They're
True.
kind of similar a little bit. But
And not being accepted by the group.
Tell us how you really feel, Longo. Okay. Women are worse than the Illuminati. It's like not even close. Women are the Illuminati. Okay. You don't have to worry about Klaus Schwab fucking up your fucking family and all this, like it's women. So when we say Eve ate the fruit, it means so much. Number one, go look at all like the tantric practitioners who are like doing their hands-free orgasming like in groups. Okay. You think any men would have gotten together and did that? You think men wouldn't do that if there weren't women around? Okay. Am I single? Why is this sounding like great? I'm not single.
Dude, I mean, everyone recognizes now that women's empathy, like the strength of women is their empathy. They're great with children, naturally great with children, and their empathy and all of that femininity has been hijacked to essentially subvert our own country. So like, yeah, they're worse than the Illuminati, but if we're going hyper based, it's our fault for giving them the ability to vote. Because like
Yes.
that's a huge fucking problem.
Great point.
Because they're
Great
like
point.
if that never like, it's been a slippery slope of all that shit, which is why I'm a fucking monarchist, man. At this point, democracy
Yeah.
is a fucking sham. Like we need a king stat, because a king can fucking forthright fix things, and monarchy is so natural, which is why so many shit truthers are like, oh, the archons. The archons are good. The archons are order keepers. That's what arc means. That's why anarchy is a archy. There's no archy. There's no order. Whereas a hierarchy is very fucking good and very natural, because who is above all of us? God. There's natural hierarchy, and we should imitate that in our governance, which means we should have a fucking king who can do shit and take care of shit and care about his nation, i.e. his family. That's my rant.
No, amen. Amen. What was the original question? What did people say?
Someone said,
How do we
so
feel about
was
women?
Jesse Lee Peterson right when he said women are of the devil?
Of the devil. We've got to see, people say evil and they think of like malicious. Evil is not necessarily malicious. Evil is the deviation from what is harmonious. Okay, so what is idle can be evil, right? It's not necessarily malintent.
Look at Sleepy Joe in the chat, bro. Eve L.
Yeah, evil.
Eve.
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that for a while. Eve, evil, it's live backwards. Eve. What What else? Devil has E in it too. If you really want to switch, stretch it a little. Deviation.
But I would say it's not that women are of the devil, it's that the devil tempts women like that. Like, who did Satan go for in the garden? Did he go for Adam? No, he went for Eve.
Mhm.
He tempted her, and then she tempted him, which is a
Yeah.
complete reflection of our society, is that these fucking simp and like me and Longer are vegetarians, and we can accurately call most other men fucking soy. These soy weak fucking men are the way they are because they somehow think that acting in some certain way is going to make them attractive to women when it's the complete fucking opposite.
Yes. Now here's okay. Sorry, I hadn't prepared anything on this. This is all very off the cuff and from the hip, but I enjoy talking about it. So I can demonstrate why a woman is of the devil in a couple easy ways. Woman's nature is deception. Her survival, her closest weapon in the game of survival, her most vital weapon is deception and manipulation. Okay? Women have been painting their faces since the fallen angels taught them to do it. Okay? That's what the Bible says. That's what the Book of Enoch says. Okay? Women deceive the public on a day-to-day basis. Makeup is deception. That is Luciferian. It's putting on one appearance but actually being another way. Makeup's deceptive. Dyeing your hair is deceptive. Any of it, all of it. And so much of this is normal for women. And now what else? The toxic empathy, of course. Women really, I agree with, Nick Fuentes on this. Like, women just need to shut the fuck up, and society would. And Merlin is correct, because things wouldn't be bad and none of this would really be that bad of a thing, except for the fact that they can now vote, which is god awful. Ruined the country, ruined civilization pretty much. Okay, women should not be allowed to vote. Most men should not even be allowed to vote.
Yes, it's not a sexist thing.
Like, women, and here's another thing is, we're not necessarily criticizing a woman's nature. We're criticizing what women's role in society today, or how women are choosing to act, in spite of all the propaganda and this. Oh, there's so much, but it's being pushed on people to act a certain way. Yeah, since the beginning of time. Okay, the devil's tricks have only changed shape and technology a little bit. There's always been deception. There's always been temptation. There's always been a porn industry, believe it or not. There's always been pornography and porn and this or that. Okay, so enough with the excuses. Accountability. Okay, that's women today are too soft in raising children, a lot of them, and that breeds generations of bad behavior. So there's all these issues, and my thing is, women really do deserve to be criticized like this, because men are still holding their end of the bargain. Men are still out there drilling the oil fields and picking up the trash. When's the last time I saw a female trash collector? I've never seen one. Now, I've never seen a Mexican or a Hispanic one either, but that's besides the point. Okay, it's always a white or a black guy. But you'll never see a woman taking out the trash or this or that, Men are still holding up their end of the bargain, and women are not. Men are enduring the exact same amount of propaganda and still holding up their end of the bargain. And I'm not saying they're perfect, but I'm saying they're still keeping the lights on and keeping society together. Women have opted out, and I'm generalizing. I'm speaking about the younger generation, of course. but they're doing all the OnlyFans and the porn and fucking all this shit. No one wants to get married. Okay, and what needs to be said is there's nothing is rewarding in a woman's life except having children.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play devil's advocate with not two white men talking about men holding up their two white bro. Oh yeah, white men are the problem. Definitely straight white men are. Oh man,
women need to shut the fuck up. Okay, stop voting, stop driving everywhere, stop going to school. Okay, you're ruining the world by going to college. You're hoeing yourself out for. How about this? When men make mistakes from 18 to 25, they learn from them. Okay, and sorry, shitty stuff happens. Men are not, always great, but they have to come around, and responsibility comes calling eventually. You know what I mean? You have to pick yourself up and, like, with women, where we're at right now is the vast majority of women in America are taking their 18 to 25 year period. A society is determined, the quality of a society, the health, the lifespan of a society is determined by what are the women doing between 18 and 25. Are they sprinting as fast as they can to get married and have children? Or are they hoeing around for 10 years, 20 years? They're hoeing around. They're all hoeing around, even the ones who talk about the Illuminati. So, Longo, I'm disappointed in your misogynistic slander. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I've seen what you boo at. Do I need to see what you cheer at?
ooh,
No. Empty. Worthless. I don't care. Men are not keeping society together. Typed from a laptop. Typed from a $2,000 laptop in a $300,000, $500,000 home, apartment, condo, whatever. I think you're doing okay. I think the men are holding up their end of the bargain from the looks of it. Okay. Now, what else? Don't think I forgot your little racist remark here. Okay. You nasty little racist. Not two white men. What about white men? What about it? Call in. Let's see what you look like. What color are you? Who cares? Okay. You're triggered. Proves us right. Okay. So I am shocked by your misogynistic. Shut up, bitch. Get back in the fucking kitchen. How about that? Go make a sandwich. How about that? Two white men. Yeah, make some white bread on there. Put some fucking mayo on there too. Okay. I can't believe how misogynistic. Oh. No.
at the end of the day, bro. I mean, it is all up to us to fix it, though. Like things are the way they are because we've let standards slide to such a large degree, and it's going to be on us to bring that back, to call out that you're white. Yeah.
Despicable. How could she?
It's all right. We're white. I think we like that too, so that's okay.
Now, we should have saved the women ranting for cancer, but we like cancers. We like moms. See, cancers represent the evolved woman. Conservative, wants to be a mother. Okay. Women who don't go from their father to their husband are dooming society. You can blame it on whoever you want. Okay. There are plenty of good women out here who are enduring the propaganda, okay, shaking it off, not letting it get to them, and are perfectly capable of living a great, healthy life. America would be better off if the women 18 to 25 stopped being skanks and going to college and drinking, okay, and filling their head full of all this demonic fucking bullshit, okay? How about from 18 to 25, you go memorize as many herbs as you can. Learn how to process a garden, harvest, plant, whatever. How about we do some of that? Okay. Do all that. And by the way, you're going to be more rewarded. You're going to feel more rewarded and gratified, when it's all said and done at the end of your life, when you have a family. And, here's another thing. There is no calling in a woman's life other than to support a man. Like, anything else is idle. Anything else is squandering what God gave to them. So, all right, if you say so. If you say so. But Gemini is all about debate and healthy conversation, and here, let's read some of these. Barney Boyle with the 4.99 says based. Hell yeah. Barney Boyle with another 4.99 says Shem. Rock and Rolla 9.99 says women are dangerous. Watch out for honeybees. A honeybee woman is like an assassin, but you get to have what, LOL. Does that make sense? Mark O'Farrell's $20 says, I'm glad to be here tonight. Rock and Rolla 88 with 4.99 says, witches on broomsticks flying around thinking they run the world. No thanks. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Witches Against Trump? That kind of shit?
No. I mean, a little
man. It's just a whole subgroup of women who have got into like witchcraft and really bad esotericism, I guess, and are like trying to cast spells at Trump. It's fucking peak comedy, honestly.
I heard about Lana Del Rey, like trying to get all her fans to put
it's that kind of shit.
A hex on Trump. It's crazy how many snowflakes we got in the chat. Okay. I don't claim them. I don't care. You can dip out, you can leave. Unsubscribe.
Dude, and
go make a sandwich though.
All of that comes out of a love for women. People are so miserable today because we've left natural order. Like this does not come out of hatred for anybody.
No, it's not hatred. I love women. I think women are delicate. I like women who are delicate and beautiful
and feminine
and tender. Yeah. Most women running around today are like diet trans. They have so much masculinity. Okay. They want to go experience the world and I find myself. I'm going to go find myself. You know what find yourself means? It's like that's what finding yourself means, by the way.
I want to have fun and experiences in my 20s. I'll have a child when I'm 38.
I'm gonna travel. You know what traveling means?
Oh man. Dude, why are women obsessed with solo traveling? That's a fucking Instagram and do a psyop, I think, bro. And it's like, let me go solo travel to India.
They're all
what, dude?
Anytime you heard it from me. You heard it from me first. Anytime a woman is traveling and you don't see her dad, her mom, or her whole family, she's bouncing on it. Okay. She's there on someone else's dime. Oh, here we go.
This is just a troll, bro. There's no way this is a black. What does black indigenous mean?
Oh,
indigenous to where? Indigenous to
I'm
where?
a Black Indigenous women historian, and I followed you for years. What the fuck is this about? Why are you not being love-centered right now? Are you being possessed? What are you talking about? Who have you been watching for years? You didn't get any of this? You didn't pick up on any of this before? I'm a Black Indigenous women historian. What do you work at Popeyes? I mean, what's a Black Indigenous women historian? I don't think you've been following me for years. Whatever. All right.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's all right. Sorry, that
Yeah.
went off the fucking rails for a while there, bro.
Phil for life with 199. Yeah, and who cares? You're Black and Indigenous. All right, what? So what? Did I say something that was really that bad? Did it really hurt your feelings? In case you haven't noticed, I'm right. I'm right. Okay. Women are playing a greater role in the decline of civilization than men. So it's true.
Yeah, just I mean, you could look at voting patterns and dude, look at every Western country. They're all in such a rough spot. This happened so in less than 100 years. We've gone from having societies and civilizations that functioned to ones that are literally falling apart at the seams, and women are being treated worse than all of it. They are the ones that are most prone to violence and the horrible things that are happening in society. All this talk comes out of a desire to literally protect women.
Exactly. Yeah. The safest thing, the best way to treat women is to take them from the father straight to the husband. Everything else is leaving them at the mercy of the devil. Okay. College boys, high school boys. Okay. You want women to run the gauntlet between 18 and 25 is what you're saying. And sing, sun, design, I don't know. And you've been in my bookstore? Okay. And did I treat you with respect? I probably did, because you seemed to really like me up until now. Sorry you got to take the fucking pictures of me off your wall now. But if you came to my bookstore and you were still my fan, then I must have treated you with respect, no matter what you looked like. Isn't that right? And you didn't suspect anything out of the ordinary. Whoa, I said something that offended you? I don't care. Go away. I don't care. Don't come back. Who cares? I'm Black and Indigenous. No, you're a clown who wants attention. Go watch something else. Sorry. I don't care. Thanks for the support. We don't accept any returns. Who cares? Women should do better.
This is like the meme, bro, where it's like Jesus spoke the truth and they hated him for it.
You know, I treat women with respect, okay? But if we're talking philosophically, I'm not going to mince my words. And, you know, let's be honest. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, like the only way to live is on, like, whatever. Yeah, it's dishonesty and oh man, what did Aristotle say were the last virtues of a dying society? Like apathy and agreeability or something like that. But it's like the ability to go along to get along is what got us here. And here is obviously not working for the overwhelming majority of people. So there's that. No one hates anything. Whatever, dude. This is the person's a fucking literal troll. No one hates women. We love women. All right. Fuck, man.
I don't know. See, they shouldn't even really be allowed to like comment on internet or any
Get 'em all
apps or anything.
beginning.
Women should just be stripped of apps and Instagram. I mean, giving women Instagram was like giving her another fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. It's like destroyed civilization. Yeah, no, whatever. I don't really care. Go cry about it. So, how's that for some Gemini? Okay. I don't care. I should just do a whole show about that. Okay. Whatever. Women. What can we say about them?
Women are great, bro.
You know how many women my age between, yeah, even like underage. I mean, girls today are starting their OnlyFans portfolios at like 14. So that when they turn 18, they'll have, dude, I just heard about this today. Okay. The systematic grooming that's going on. Okay.
Yeah. It's there's like soft grooming and hard grooming where like, there's the incentivization to hoe yourself out, which is a big problem. And then there's the actual grooming. Like, bro, the shit that I've heard coming out of the UK over the past decade is nothing short of horrific. And that's where it's like we need strong men to step up and handle business because these problems can be fixed. But the solutions are politically incorrect to talk about, and that has to change because the solutions are obvious, like whatever. But like it's literally about protecting women and protecting and loving women and loving society and wanting a good, harmonious, natural society.
Let me double check that. Well, whatever. So, all right, Gemini. What else can we say about Gemini?
Oh,
let's
dude,
list off some popular Geminis. I mean, this is like not even a Gemini show anymore. But
you want some show and tell real quick? I'm a
yeah, go
Gemini,
for
bro.
it.
Gemini rules the arm. Dude, I am double jointed in both arms. I don't know if I could like get up here, but like my arm, bro, literally go. I've got. But okay. So anyway, like both of my arms are fucking double jointed completely, and I've got Mercury, Venus, and the Sun all conjunct, and Mercury and Venus are retrograde. So, like, I don't know. I was always like, man, I wonder why my arms are double jointed. But like learning astrology, it makes perfect sense that like the double jointedness is there. But yeah, okay, random. But Mercury rules the arms. We're getting back into it.
What's up, Benjamin? Thanks for the support. It's great to have you. Maybe there are other lines of oppression. Maybe they are becoming hoes as a desperate. Yeah, it's everyone except the hoes' fault. That's right. So insightful. Capitalist oppression. Someone let the prehistoric prostitutes know it was all just capitalism. Okay. No. There are prostitutes and hoes and deviant women in communist societies. Okay. No. Grasping at straws. Who cares? Oh, look at that. Yeah, guys, hey. Okay. I can be nice to women. I am nice to women. Okay. But I'm not going to mince my words. Okay. I don't want a female audience. I don't want fucking everyone to like me. I don't care. Okay. See, Black indigenous women are not representing themselves too well tonight. Okay.
Bald skinny beta. What the
not
fuck?
very nice. Not very nice. The true colors come out. All right. Well, she's reached her intellectual capacity. So, all right.
Whatever. It's been one hater, and like, dude, it brought out the super chats. God bless. You know,
For real, man. Nothing gets the people tipping like like
a little bit of fucking honesty, like a little bit of fucking honesty. That maybe was refreshing to hear for some people. For most of the chat, most of the chat was like, "Wow, thank you. I agree. I agree. I agree." Whereas one allegedly Black indigenous troll, probably a fucking Indian, pretending to be a Black indigenous person. White male privilege doesn't exist to y'all, huh? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
This is ridiculous. White male privilege. You mean being smarter? I don't know. Like,
do you want to open up for call-ins, Longo?
I think we should. That would be so Geminian. If like
oh man, have a conversation. But Longo, when a Black woman speaks, you shut the fuck up and listen. All right. And that's coming from the bald, skinny beta.
Whatever. Yeah, it's probably just a Mossad bot. Okay. Okay. And
definitely.
and if anyone who can pay attention sees you came to my bookstore, you essentially gave the impression that you were my fan until tonight, until you heard me say something you didn't like. You must not have been paying that close of attention. Or I don't know. Whatever. Who are some other great, Geminis? Do you think Geminis are misogynistic? Trump, Russell Brand.
Naturally, I don't think so. I don't know, because is it misogynistic to say, hey, maybe you should try to get married early and start a family? Is that misogynistic? Or is it more misogynistic to be like, no, you're just as capable as a man. Go be a plumber and go to college and do this. You don't want to work for your husband? Go work for a corporation. That's freedom. It's like, which one's really hating women? Which one's really misogynistic, truly? Like, it just is what it is. Dude, in order for us to fucking further humanity, you have to link up and you have to have kids. If you have kids, it makes sense to have a parent at home and to keep the kids at home and not subject them to the public insanity that is common today.
Totally. Exactly. Merlin's right. We're trying to help women. Okay. The safest thing for a woman is to go from her father straight into her husband's arms. That gap is what makes or breaks society. Okay. Seriously. Almost everything else is like negligible. Okay. I mean, if women are holding up their end from 18 to 20. See, and the issue is that women do need to mature faster and earlier than men. There is something to that. Okay, women are not smarter, but they are. At 18, a woman can be everything she could ever be. She can attain that at 18. She can be the best, absolute, mastered version of herself, believe it or not. With men, it's more like 36 until you're fully squared away. You've seen everything. All the lessons have been offered to you. Women at 18 can penetrate any area of society and pass as fitting. A woman on the arm an 18-year-old woman can be on the arm of a scientist, of rock star, you know, you name it, and they can fully like immerse themselves in that new environment, that industry, whatever. You know, women almost can, like chameleon like that. They're so adaptable. And this kind of goes back to like warlord genetic memory, where, you know, women are programmed to where, you know, yeah, they're programmed to love their husbands, but they're also programmed to, when a stronger tribe comes in and chops all their husbands' heads off, yeah, they can be like, oh yeah, I want a new husband. You know, I'm ready for a new husband. Oh, he was holding me back. Like they're ready to go. You know, that they can adapt like right away. You know, whatever. So basically, I think women should be on their best behavior from 18 to 25. Right? Men should too, but men really peak in like at like 36 ish. Women peak at 18. You know, it's not
Interesting half there.
kind of. So I think we should place more resources and care and attention towards keeping women safe and, you know, in suitable relationships. And, you know, 18 to 25, that's the sweet spot. Take care of them, keep them safe, find them a good husband that'll keep them safe, and then boom. That's the healthiest, most rewarding, most stable path. So you can hate that all you want, but any deviation from that, yes, revives the discussion. Are women from the devil? All evidence at the present points to yes. So,
And just to clarify and play devil's advocate too, like obviously men need to know what it means to be a good husband and father at a very much younger age than they do now. And like we obviously need to, you know, get men on the path towards God, godliness, and being a good person. Like that goes hand in hand with this. It takes two to tango,
yeah,
obviously. Like we're talking about women, but men need some serious fucking fixing up as well. Like let's not beat around that bush, you know. But like, so both problems are very present. And again, men literally allowed it. At the end of the day, it's the responsibility, like always, as always, falls on men, whereas the responsibility of the home is going to fall on women. That's what I would say.
if you need any further demonstration that women are of the devil, look no further than the top podcasts for women and the top selling books for women.
Dude, the smut is out of fucking control, man. Women literally just fucking read pornography these days, straight up. It's crazy. Like, if the ones that aren't on OnlyFans are reading filth, that's equally as filthy as OnlyFans. So it's like there's almost no escaping it. The women who don't do either are the exception, like 20% probably.
Yep.
Completely out of my ass with that number, but whatever.
Look at the most popular female social media accounts, and then go look at the most popular male social media accounts. Okay, there's some exceptions. There's some degenerate men out there, but are they pulling their dick and balls out and their ass and their tits and fucking using every inch of skin they have? Or do they have do the men in all the, you know, the top Instagram accounts in the world for men, do they have little links in there to their horror websites, to their OnlyFans and their this and that? No, they don't. Okay. Barely any of them. You'll be pressed to find a single male influencer who is on his own engaged in pornography just for the head, just for money or for the hell of it. Whereas women, even when they're rich, will still engage in pornography. Okay? So, and I work at the bookstore here, and, you know, not to like betray my my doctor's what do they call it, like trust, not to breach my
Doctor patient confidentiality.
confidentiality, but I see what the women buy here at the store. I see what females buy. Okay, I see what men buy. I see women's buying habits. You know, women are more likely to go into a bookstore with their friends and to take pictures of themselves at a bookstore. When a man goes to a bookstore, 90% of the time he's by himself because he actually wants to fucking read. With women, it's almost everything except reading a book is is coming to a. So, sorry, this is my combined life experience that I'm reporting on here. And yeah, women ask for smut every other day, once a week at least, okay? Asking about smut. So, top female podcast, Call Her Daddy. Literally, How to Be a Whore podcast. Top podcast for men, all self improvement, all waking up earlier, business, getting into an industry like self improvement. So, whatever. I think that demonstrates it. That says more than any words can. But Gemini, let's talk real quick. Let's talk about some
Yeah.
Gemini actors. Okay,
I've
Donald
got my
Trump.
screen pulled up.
Cool. Something that I really wanted to talk about was all the comedians and imitation comics who are Geminis.
Which ones did you have in mind? I don't have any memorized.
So let's focus on some quintessential Geminis.
Sure. Ooh, just Gemini trait too. I think Geminis are. I'm biased. I think Geminis are funny as fuck, honestly. And
Yeah.
I think Trump is a great example of that. Like, love Trump or hate Trump. If you can't, like, I'm not a Trump fan. This is known. He's funny as fuck. If you can't admit that he's fucking funny, there's something wrong with you, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Geminis have this great ability to parrot and imitate, interpret, mimic, Geminis well, we'll get to the comedians, but let's start off with some actors, okay? Johnny Depp is a Gemini. Very Geminian. Okay. I don't know what you'd call him, a character actor, or I don't know if he's a method actor or what, but you can tell he's very into it. And he has almost like that bipolar side. And Captain Jack Sparrow is very Geminian, kind of wordy, limericky.
Yeah, he's the idiot savant.
Yeah, talks his way out of things, and maybe not famous for being articulate, but he has like this limericky, always has a sharp comeback or a little
Yeah,
quick.
there's the best line, man, where it's like, "You're the worst pirate I've ever heard of," and he's like, "You have heard of me." It's like everyone. It's like that's good shit, the witty comeback.
Yeah, and then almost like the female version of him is Helena. Can you search a picture of Johnny Depp, please?
Yeah, sure.
As Captain Jack. So Johnny Depp has had so many roles, but yeah, Captain Jack is probably most famous for. There's also Helena Bonham Carter. So she is almost like the female Johnny Depp I see. She has like this darkness about her. These are two kind of dark examples starting off with. Helena Bonham Carter has the bipolarness. Almost every role she's in, she has this like unstable, manic, like, ooh, I'm about to lose it. I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to like.
Yeah.
Especially in Fight Club. But
Oh, dude, yeah. That man, talk about a bipolar movie. Just obviously in general, that's quite the example of a Geminian movie. Fight Club, man.
this guy says we're both gay.
We're both gay.
But
We're
he
not, though.
agrees. But he agrees Jack Sparrow is the ultimate Gemini.
Like we're gay for wanting whatever, bro. Water off a duck's back.
Helena Bonham Carter, very Gemini. She has this, like I said, instability, mutability about her. Yeah, Geminis kind of have crackhead energy a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
like you see someone out in the street like talking to themselves. That's like an extreme form of like a of some Gemini qualities. So, but all right, talking to yourself is kind of a Gemini thing. You know, like having a internal dialogue. I'd wager that Geminis have Geminis have internal dialogues than any other sign. For example, I know for a fact Tauruses are the least likely to have an internal dialogue. They're like borderline retarded. Like all they think in is like baby shapes. It's
Oh
like
no.
it's like baby Einstein.
I find it hard to believe that people don't have an internal monologue. Like, I think they just like when people say they don't have an internal monologue, I assume they just don't know, like they can't grasp what it is that's going on in their own head. Cause like I don't know how you couldn't have like, are you like literally whatever, dude? I think that's got to be a fucking meme / people just thinking they don't think,
No,
which is
you know what it
weird.
is? It's called Buddhism.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Okay. So Nepal has the lowest IQ on planet Earth. One of them.
Nepal.
Yeah. You'd think it would be pretty high. I mean, they're fucking Asian, right?
Yeah.
Like, but they. Sorry, Judy. Are you a Taurus? Sorry.
It depends where your Mercury is. Your Mercury could be in Gemini as a Taurus, so there's exceptions to the rule.
I'm not trying to be mean. All right, like I've said before, there have been some great, smart Tauruses. Okay, I'm particularly fond of a couple very sharp Tauruses, but the exception doesn't prove the rule. One sec.
Sure. Oh, let's see, guys. What's the over/under? Is Longo gonna be visited by the youths tonight? Will the neighbors show up?
Yeah, sorry, the police are knocking at the door. They said I've been too mean to women and indigenous Popeyes workers, so they're gonna have to bring me in.
Oh shit.
Sorry, guys. But all right. What were we talking about?
We were talking about Nepal's IQ.
Oh yeah, so Nepal is they're so low IQ that I think they also have one of the lowest that they have one of the lowest like internal dialogue, internal monologue rates. Let me see this. Which country? Yeah, look up the average IQ of Nepal.
Okay, I mean, I tried Googling it, it gave a weak answer. Apparently, Somalia has the lowest IQ, with Hong Kong having the highest IQ. Somalia lowest IQ, I find that hard to believe, personally. Let's see what Nepal is. That's the wrong screen. Nepal, yeah, they're they seem middle of the pack. Average IQ 97.31.
No. Hang on. Lowest IQ by country. Nepal, 4299. Where are you getting your info from?
I'm just Googled it, man. A 42? Bro, you like literally not breathing with a 42 IQ. There's no way their average is 42. Mentally retarded is 70. They couldn't exist as a society with a 42 IQ average. They'd be like slugs.
Yeah, you're right. All right. South Sudan has the lowest average IQ at 61. I think maybe this is the lowest ever recorded.
Like the world record for the lowest IQ.
Yeah, all right. 42 is not the average of Nepal. I was wrong on that.
That'd be so
But-
insane. Because then, like, half the country would be below that, dude. Holy moly, man. Imagine being in the 20s.
Okay, Nepal has the lowest. Wait, hang on. Guys, look it up. I'm not kidding. Some of these sites are saying Nepal has 42 to 43 IQ. Look it up. Okay, and what is this? What we're getting at here is basically Buddhism shuts off your mind. People are going to say, "Oh, that's not real Buddhism. Pure Buddhism is Aryan and it's genius and it's intellectual." All right, where is it today? I guess it wasn't that strong. Wasn't that, Christianity's still here. And it's, but Buddhism is basically like, turn off your brain, white man. Yes, attachment. You live a life of illusion and attachment. Turn off your brain, white man. It's like hypnotism. It's like shutting off the mind too much. It's not just quieting the mind. It's like turning off the brain. And then boom, your IQ turns to fucking dog shit. So institutionalized brain quieting is clearly not a great thing.
All right. 42 seems high. What's the over-under on Longo marrying a Nepalese woman, bro?
Well, all right.
How did we get there? Oh, we talked about IQ, or inner monologue. Inner monologue is how we got there in Gemini, bringing it back.
How do we find out which country has the lowest internal monologue?
Start with the Google. Which country has the lowest internal monologue rate? Has the lowest? Yeah, I really do find it hard to believe that people genuinely don't have internal monologues. Research estimates that between 30 to 50% of people have an internal monologue. There's no way it's more rare than common. That's fucking crazy.
Here, zoom in a little bit so people can see that.
Oh yeah, my bad. Internal monologue rates by country, but specific country data is limited. AI loves protecting morons.
Just search lowest IQ in Asia, and you'll see what I'm looking at.
All right. What do we got here? Nepal has the lowest with a score of not an IQ, but a score of 42.9. What does that mean, though?
Okay.
Average IQ score 42.9. Bro, that's got to be like.
I know, right?
There's no way that's accurate.
I know, right?
There's zero chance. Because Bangladesh has a 74.33 SAR. So Nepal being 43.
I'm an indigenous Nepalese woman, and what you guys are saying is downright offensive. All right.
I'm defending the Nepalese people. I say 43 is fucking impossible. I am on the side of Nepal. There's no way it's 43.
Yeah, it's a good point.
The distraction. Yeah, honestly, I'm like a fucking fly with attention span sometimes. I pop from point to point.
That's all right. Well, for Cancer, I think we should each have like a plate of food. We should be like eating as we're like just like barely saying anything.
Yeah, dude. Here I thought I was bulking, but now I'm a fucking skinny bald guy, which is not me.
that bitch was just tripping. That bitch was just tripping.
So what Geminis did you want to talk about? I mean, I talked about Trump a little bit. What comedians did you have in mind? You said you had some comedians that were Geminis that were impressive.
Bill Hader.
Okay, he's a good one.
Bill Hader is a total Gemini. He has this quick, he snaps into impressions so fast. He doesn't need any makeup or like anything. Just search Bill Hader impressions or something.
Sure, yeah. I won't be able to play any sound on my YouTube because like my sound
Yeah,
won't
no,
come
we don't
through
have to
StreamYard.
watch. We just need to see. I just want to see pictures of him.
Oh, okay, got you. I understand. Okay. Bill Hader impressions. Just his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he does all these impressions. He's a Gemini. Very funny. Goofy guy. But then also, you know who else is a Gemini? Mike Myers. All his characters, all his impressions, all his,
Hmm.
Austin Powers, where he's playing like 4 different characters at once.
Yeah.
Super Gemini.
Dude, I love the Austin Powers movies growing up, man. They were so funny.
Mm-hmm. Search Mike Myers so people can see it.
Sure. Yeah, let's get Mike up there. Mike Myers. Let's go young Mike Myers. Yeah.
Yeah. So Gemini, he's got all these costumes and makeup and these different characters he plays. Who else is kind of like that? Will Sasso, super Geminian. Can you search Will Sasso?
Sure. I don't know who Will Sasso is. Will Sasso, comedian, actor. Interesting.
He was one of the Stooges, like the reboot.
Oh, okay. Oh,
He-
dude, didn't that have who's that blonde chick? Wasn't that blonde chick in that movie? Or am I thinking of something else? Jessica Simpson, maybe? Or no. Never mind. Whatever. Okay, he was one of the Three Stooges in the reboot.
Yep. So imitating, mocking, parroting. Remember, we talked about parrot already. What about parody? Parrot, parody.
Ooh, nice.
So Will Sasso does lots of characters. He does Jesse Ventura. He does Randy Savage. He does great impressions. Who else? Since we're on comedians, Will Forte, a very bipolar comedian. He goes from angry to gentle. That's like his whole shtick is going from angry to gentle.
I've never seen this guy in anything.
Him and Bill Hader work together a lot. This guy played MacGruber. You never saw MacGruber?
Never saw MacGruber.
Bro, MacGruber is
That was like the spoof on MacGyver, right?
legendary.
The parody? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I never saw that one.
Will Forte, Will Sasso. Oh, here's a good one. Adam Ray. He's kind of popular now. He's the guy who does the fake Dr. Phil. He plays Dr. Phil and he does a whole show as Dr. Phil, like stand-up comedy.
Nice.
And he, impressionists. Geminis make the best impressionists. Tony Hinchcliffe, not necessarily an impressionist, but he has a talk show where they have all these people come on and they criticize them. They, make fun of them. Kill Tony.
I didn't know Tony was a Gemini. Definitely
he's a Gemini,
100%.
and he's a triathlete. Like he's a cyclist. You know
Interesting.
that? Super Gemini. My lacrosse coach growing up was a Gemini.
Oh yeah.
Both my longtime high school lacrosse coach, and then one of my assistant lacrosse coaches was also a Gemini. Both of them were into biking and cycling and triathlete type stuff, like always exercising, running, competing, racing. Tony Hinchcliffe is a cyclist as well. So yeah. Also, if search Glenn Curtis with 2 S's, please. What was his birthday?
Let's see. Glenn Curtis. Let's see. May 21st, Gemini.
Maybe Taurus, maybe, but
Most likely a Gemini, yeah.
Okay, well,
definitely.
perfect, because he's the guy who broke all the land speed records on motorcycles and cars, and he's the first guy to like slap a gasoline engine on like so many different vehicles, like airboats, little like airplanes, primitive like inventions. He would pilot and test pilot and famous. He's one of people don't really know too much about him today, but he's considered one of the most influential Americans ever by consequence of their inventions, his involvement in things. He may not be the most well known, but he lived one of the most consequential lives in American history.
Wow.
Now it could all be a big scam and a fake, front for something, because the way his life ended was very, mysterious and kind of suspect.
Yeah, I was kind of going down there. What happened to him?
He died of a heart attack in court, I believe.
Traveling to contest a lawsuit brought by former business partner, Curtis suffered an attack of appendicitis in court.
He's like, Your Honor. He just like dies. But
52, so young.
Well, he was a major player in the Florida land boom. So he helped invent like Kodak cameras. He worked at Kodak photography like super early on. He was into like radio or something else too. And then he becomes a vehicle like test pilot, and then like a racer and a world record breaker. And I think he piloted like more different vehicles than like anyone alive at the time, maybe ever since. But yeah, interesting guy, weird guy. He conspired with the Smithsonian to like steal the Wright brothers credit for making the first like powered flight.
Interesting.
So yeah, he was involved in some scandals, and he moved to Florida to kind of get away from it all and became a real estate guy. But he was a Gemini, and he lived a very Gemini life.
What do you think about the Smithsonian? You've done content on Florida giants, right? Or the giant skeletons?
Yeah, we shouldn't spend too much time on that.
Okay.
It's Geminis more have to do with small things and small people anyway, like dwarves. And that brings us to our next famous Gemini, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage is a quintessential Gemini. He is short and small, compact like a Gemini. The word micro and macro come from Mercury, right? And the word mini comes from Gemini. Geminis are often of smaller body, medium size. Geminis are very medium, but Mercury, the planet, is the small one, the servant, the lap dog. It's like Mercury's like a small little dog on the leash.
Yeah, he's tethered to the sun. Yep, 100%.
Speaking of sun, Merlin, being close to the sun, we missed you last week because you were at a beach house or something. Looks like you got some color.
I sure did, man. I've been out in the sun, dude. Loving it.
I think the last show we did, I was darker than Merlin. Now he's much darker than me.
Yeah. Summertime, man. It's I love being out in the sun in the summer, man. I'm not fortunate to have year-long sunshine like the good Dr. Longo down there. I have more distinct seasons up here.
Yeah. Well, Dinklage is not just small and like a micro person, but he's also very articulate, or at least some of his characters are known for their oracular Yeah, I guess he's like, oracle a little bit, but more like their oration, like being able to speak and articulation and eloquence. I'm thinking of Tyrion Lannister,
Great
who does
example.
who gets farther with his words than he does his might or his connections or anything else. It's all convincing people, silver tongue, right? So
Hmm.
silver, quicksilver, silver tongue. Um, yeah,
Yeah, he talks his way, charms his way, and thinks his way out of every situation, which is very, very Gemini. In the show, he unites different forces in his favor. So yeah, very, very, very good example.
who's another good Gemini? Natalie Portman. Okay,
Yes,
Natalie
she
Portman,
is.
a total Gemini. Okay, she's pretty good looking. She's pretty hot for an Israeli Mossad agent. Um, she's Harvard
Yeah.
educated. You guys know that Natalie Portman's Harvard educated?
Yep.
That's as Gemini as it gets. Okay. Cute Aries girls don't go to Ivy League schools. Okay. Gemini girls do go to Ivy League schools. So
Someone in chat asked, "Is she Israeli?" Yeah, guys, her name is Herschlag, so she's extremely of the tribe.
yeah, she's whatever, doesn't matter. Um
Beautiful though.
yeah, she's hot. She's Goymaxing for sure.
Yeah.
Um let's see. Shia LaBeouf, huge Gemini, bipolar to a T. Okay. Shia LaBeouf, if you ever want to see the people love to use terms like the unevolved, the
Hmm.
lower self, lower vibration Gemini. Okay. The undeveloped Gemini. Shia LaBeouf is the quintessential Gemini. He is bipolar. He's manic. I don't know. What do you see, Merlin? He's a good actor. He can like shapeshift.
Well, like how we got distracted by a troll earlier, that is very Gemini. Shia LaBeouf was famously trolled by 4chan. Do you remember that? When the whole he will
Sam
not
Hyde.
it wasn't even Sam Hyde. It was he was doing the protest where it was like he will not something. There was like some Trump protest. It's not like he will not replace us, but like it wasn't a not my president. It was something, but basically they kept like
He will
having a
not divide
drone.
us.
He will not divide us. Thank you.
It
Yeah,
won't
he will
do.
not divide us. And they kept taunting him with a drone somehow, I think. And like it was just so funny, man. It went on for like weeks with 4chan trolling Shia LaBeouf, to my knowledge. So yeah, classically trolled. Geminis can be easily trolled or easily antagonized too, just as easily as Geminis can antagonize others. It kind of goes both ways, which again, kind of very Geminian.
Yep. Now also Paul McCartney, Gemini. Now shouldn't be a surprise that another part of this Mercury thing and two people in one body is there's also kind of like an identity. There's like a mystery. There's a mysteriousness to Gemini, where Gemini is like the question mark of the zodiac. Cancer has the answers.
Mm-hmm.
Gemini is the questions. Curious about something, that's Mercurius. Gemini is the question, Cancer is the answer. So with Gemini, there's kind of like a question mark on it. They're not the most mysterious sign, but there is this identity crisis kind of going on. Lo and behold, Paul McCartney is not just famous for being a Beatle. He's famous for allegedly faking his own death or being replaced or being played by multiple people, that's pretty dang Gemini. People
Yeah.
think he has a twin. People think he is an imposter, an impersonator. Here's another good Gemini movie. Have you ever seen what's the movie with Angelina Jolie where her son goes missing? And then they say that the police say, "Oh, we found your son." And they have this grand, like, you know, they have this big, like, what's the word? Where
Changeling?
the changeling. Thank you. So Angelina Jolie, Gemini. This is a great casting for this movie. She's a Gemini, and this movie's about her son being replaced. Like her son goes missing, kidnapped, and the police reunite her with her son, and they make like this big media event out of it. And then she realizes it's not her son.
Ooh.
Because like he's grown up a little bit. So I don't know if she wasn't quite sure, like I don't know how long it was that he was missing, but he comes back like a little older. And she's like, "Is that my son?" And by the end of the movie, she's like, "Yeah, that's not my son." And the police just wanted to like, all right, it's done. We found a missing kid. There's a missing mom. All right, that's good enough. Tell the newspapers it's solved. Right, happy story. But so Angelina Jolie, Gemini, having a imposter son. So imposter seems to be a kind of a Gemini concept, like posing as someone else or taking like identity theft. Identity is kind of a Gemini word too, like Gemini. There's a sense of self in Gemini, like gem in I, like me, my I, whatever. But it's also Gemini is kind of like imagine. Gemini, you can, you take the syllables apart, you get imagine, Gemini. Genuine is not far off from Gemini, genuine. And then what was I going to say? I forget. Doesn't matter.
Quick aside, the person I was thinking of in the Three Stooges is Kate Upton, who is also a Gemini. She's a very, very good Gemini. But she played the nun in that movie, and she did great in that role. So just a quick aside there.
Okay, nice. Hell yeah. B-Ball888 says, "Bring on the truth bombs, gentlemen. As a 55-year-old woman, I am sick of the games fellow women play." Thank you, B-Ball. Appreciate it. I'll look past the Canadian money, but thank you. Appreciate the support. Barney Boyle, another $4.99. "I believe in treating women with respect, but first you got to get their attention." Good point. Rock and Roller with a 1999. "I love the top portion of a special woman." What? I love the top portion of a special woman. Her name is Nicole. Just wanted to say, with a 4x4 gold medal limited edition behind, especially when, what? Fucking weird.
Yeah, shout out to Nicole.
Sorry, man. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
So, who are some other good Geminis? We talked about comedians, talked about some actors. How about, yes, Prince? Wasn't Prince known? Didn't Prince want to be called ? Look it up.
Okay, yeah. Did Prince?
I swear, Prince like renamed himself like ?
researcher says, no, Prince did not want to be called question mark. He changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol as a form of rebellion against his record label Warner Bros. And to
Yeah.
regain control over his music.
All right, so something close to that, but so Prince renamed himself like something like inutterable, and that's kind of Geminian too. It's like tongue twisters are Gemini.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, President Trump, of course, we already talked about him. Gemini. Can you search Mar-a-Lago front gate, please?
Yeah, sure. Sure can. Is that a good one? Is that what we're looking for?
Yes. Now, it may be hard to see, but yeah. Here, I'll take us away for a sec.
Okay.
Now, what do you notice on either side of the gate? Yep. What do you see?
2 lamps. Are those 2 boys holding a lamp or 2 youths holding lamps?
2 youths clinging to a pole with a lamp at the top.
Mm-hmm.
So, bipolar.
Okay.
Perhaps? Bipolarity. The pole on one side, pole on the other. Twins. Pole dancing. Very Geminian.
Pole dancing
Yeah.
Geminian. Nice.
Light at the top, illumination at the top. So here's another
Yeah.
thing is Gemini rules. Gemini is like a good way to envision Gemini is like the light bulb going off in someone's head. That's Gemini. That's Gemini's superpower is ideas, the intellect, thinking it out. And the light going off at the top of your head is Gemini. That's when you know you're using your Gemini faculties. So, yeah, the 2 youths, twins dancing on the poles in front of Mar-a-Lago, I think are like totemic Gemini. They're like Gemini totems for Donald Trump. Just like Andrew Tate has the horse behind him on the knight from the chess, the knight chess piece, which is a horse behind him in his podcast,
Yeah.
The totemic animals or symbols of your zodiac sign can be sources of power and inspiration.
Yes. And just a quick random aside, guys, like even if you're not a Gemini sun or don't have a planet in Gemini, like when it comes to studying the zodiac, everyone has Gemini somewhere in their charts. Like we are all an amalgamation of all 12 signs. So if you want to know how Gemini affects you in your chart, look at what house Gemini rules, like what house Gemini is on the cusp of or most in, and then you can see where Gemini is going to pop up most influentially in your life, even if you have no planets there. And then also look at the condition of your Mercury and what house your Mercury is in, and you'll see what kind of flavor your Gemini house is going to be into. It's just a random astrology aside, but everyone should get involved.
Amen. Well, let's talk about a couple rappers real quick too. So, rappers: Tupac, Kendrick Lamar. Tupac, Kendrick Lamar, Kanye West, Geminis. Okay, Geminis have a lot to say. They're articulate. They're good with their words. I hate Kendrick Lamar. Can't stand him. Tupac's super overrated too. It's like he's like a caricature of.
But he has 2 in his name, though.
Yeah, he does.
Tupac.
That's good.
What are your thoughts on Bob Dylan as a Gemini? He's good with words. He's more known for his lyrics than his singing ability. Yep. He's quite the lyricist, which is very Geminian.
Yeah. Talking, yep.
Ooh, Biggie is also Gemini, the notorious B.I.G.
Is he?
Yeah.
So both of the most famous rappers of all time.
Tupac and Biggie and Kanye. Dude, and Northwest. Kanye's, I think that's son, right? Or is that daughter? I don't know. Daughter, okay. So Northwest.
And Iggy Azalea, bro. The best rapper in the world, dude.
Dude, and the comment you just put up on the screen is so true. Talking fast is Gemini. Bro, when I was younger, especially, I talk so fast I fucking mumble sometimes, and I have to slow myself down to speak. Like, yeah, talking fast, I would say, is extremely Gemini.
Geminis have the gift of gab. Okay. They do great on the telephone, answering phones, replying to messages. Like Geminis thrive in communication and correspondence, and yeah.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman, known for having a voice that people enjoy listening to, is a Gemini.
Yep. Kodak Black, another rapper. So many rappers and comedians. It's obvious. Andre 3000, Gunna, bruh. Andre 3000 is actually one of the best rappers.
Yeah,
So.
Outkast is good.
Ice
Cube.
Cube.
Wow, he's got my birthday. Let's go.
Jeezy. Lots of rappers.
Jordan Peterson's a Gemini.
Well, what you see is when,
you know there, Bucko.
Oh, bloody hell, I mean.
Guys, if you're a true Old World Florida fan, go to the Old World Florida YouTube channel, go to videos, and sort by oldest. What is Longo's oldest upload on the channel? Jordan Peterson in 432 hertz is Longo's oldest video.
Now, when we look at the male psyche, what we see is trauma.
You know there, Dr. Longo, you said my wife looks like a spirit cooker.
Yeah.
What in the bloody hell there, bud?
You got the hermit. You got the Kermit the Frog down. But you gotta see it's tough to do because it's real Kermity, but it's also super high pitched, like insanely high pitched.
Longo, you don't bloody know what you're talking about. You gotta go in and you gotta slay the dragon.
No, I'm doing bad.
No, see, you gotta falsetto. You have to falsetto. Jordan Peterson's in a falsetto.
That's true. Amy Schumer's a Gemini. It's so funny. Jordan Peterson said the most basic things. Go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I think Jordan Peterson's calling in right now, actually.
Oh, Dr. Peterson, how are you?
What the two of you said about women is just reprehensible. I mean,
Jordan Peterson, you're offended by that. You don't agree?
If I didn't have my tenure,
Jordan Peterson, who's your daughter been sleeping with? Is there?
Never mind.
My bad.
I don't eat anything except Perrier and grass-fed beef.
Yeah, Jordan Peterson, bro.
So yeah, he's a Gemini.
Queen Victoria was a Gemini. Okay.
She was a short little fuck nugget.
Queen Victoria was a short little fuck nugget.
Look her up.
Holy moly, bro. What are we doing here, folks?
Search for Queen Victoria. Search her how tall she was.
What do we got here? Queen Victoria, height 4'11". Dang. She looks like Helena Blavatsky right there. Holy shit. Not great.
She looks like Helena. Never mind. I'm trying to come up with a joke.
Helena Gatsky.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Someone commented that on my Helena Blavatsky video.
Helena.
Yeah.
Helena. That's good. I was gonna say something like Helena blows packies or something, like because she liked Indian stuff.
She was a big fan of it. The whole Theosophical Society obsessed with India, bro. Eastern
All
Mississippi,
right,
crazy.
guys, what do you think? Helena Gatsky or Helena blows packies? Blow packies. It's not as good. But
was she a Gemini? What was Helena? What sign is Helena Blavatsky? But yeah, that most famous picture of her, that's quite like, that's the same person. What's her sign? What's Blavatsky's sign? She was born, she's a Taurus. Oh, no, August, Leo. Okay. She did love attention. She did. Oh no, but 31 July, because she was born in under the Julian calendar, but still a Leo. Okay.
Helena Gatsky. That's funny. All right. Well, who else? You talked about rappers. Bob Dylan. Yeah, more famous for what he has to say rather than how he sings it.
You had the Olsen twins in your thumbnail.
Yep. There's some classic bimbos.
Yeah.
Talk about if we really want to make excuses for women, those poor girls were probably subjected to the most unimaginable like horror at the hands of the Full House cast. Okay. You ever hear the type of sick jokes that Bob Saget and John Stamos and that other guy would say about the Olsen twins?
No, I've not, but I heard, yeah, Bob Saget he had the dual thing of like being a very dirty comedian outside of the wholesome persona. Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of weird.
Interesting. They made jokes about the Olsen twins?
Yeah.
Oh.
They did.
The kind of shit that flew back in the day.
Yeah. So poor girls, Olsen twins, they're very gaunt. They're like zombified, but
yeah. Yeah, Olsen twins, they were born in what, 86? Yeah, they're a little bit older than me.
All right, man. I think we covered everything with a nice sizable woman hating portion of the show. So that's all right. For every 5 triggered girls that unsubscribe, I get 20 based chads that subscribe. So I don't care.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else you want to cover?
No, I mean, we didn't talk about Castor and Pollux, but as far as the sign Gemini goes, it's all good. You know, that's just more duality, purity versus impurity, essentially, with Castor and Pollux. So, you know, that's the mind. You know, the mind can be poisoned or the mind can be purified. And you know, it's like input equates to output, essentially, when it comes to that. Thank you, Judy.
The Great White Pope is trying to get me banned from YouTube.
Come on, man. Oh, what happened?
Hell yeah. Sign me up. I'm making Aliyah, baby.
Longco to Israel? Bro, Longco would come back as a body double from Israel. It would not be good.
They'd string me up on a cross or something. That no, I'd be okay. I'd be welcomed.
Yeah, Longo is actually spoken nicely about his neighbors.
Yeah, guys, go subscribe to Merlin, Wise Wizard Merlin.
If you want to, I'll throw my channel up on the screen if that's cool.
Sure, I think I've got it right here.
Oh, okay.
Guys, right now, okay, I need all my men. Come here, get behind me, okay? This is like that moment where there's a car stuck in the street, and 5 dudes got to get behind it and push it. All right, I need 5 men, strong men. All right, who are brave enough and competent enough to go click that subscribe button. Guys, tonight we're pushing Merlin over the edge for 1,000 subscribers. Okay. I know we've got 5 indigenous queens out there who are just dying to lend their support to guys. We need subscribers on Merlin's channel. All right. Push him over the edge. 1,000 subscribers, you get monetized. Is that right?
Yeah, and I just actually hit 4,000 watch hours like 2 days ago, so it's like both milestones at once, which is pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah, man.
And can I just plug something real quick?
Go for it.
I launched my website.
Finally. Boom! We're at $9.99. Shut
Thank
up,
you,
bro.
guys.
We're on. All right,
but yeah, wisewizardmerlin.com, wise with a Z. It's up. I'm doing readings, so if you want a reading, the pricing is very generous, I think, both ways. So if you're looking for a reading, I'm doing horary and natal astrology. Dude, thank you guys, much appreciated. Love the Old World Florida community. Oh yeah, dude, and also just like thanks to the OWF community, because my channel would be fucking nowhere without you guys. Like genuinely, thank you, Longo. Genuinely, and OWF, man, I appreciate you guys.
Hang on. Fuck, I can't whistle right now, but whatever.
What are you trying to whistle?
Celebratory music.
Oh, nice. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. 1,000. Hit the 1K club. Hell yeah. Now
on the Gemini stream.
He just joined the 1K club. Soon he's going to be joining the triple K club.
Oh, whoa there, bud.
The triple K. But 3K.
3K subs. Hey, that'd be one day.
3K
one day.
club.
Going for 70K eventually, like the big OWF.
The triple K club is what Merlin's shooting for. But all right, everyone. See ya. Have a good night. And again, ladies out there, thanks for putting up with us. I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but we're gonna tell it how it is. Go watch some girl fucking astrology if you want your fucking ass kissed the entire time. You're actually a divine manifesting queen, and the patriarchy has stolen everything from you. And we would all be living in perfect harmony with nature if it wasn't for the white man. That's whatever. All right. Closing thoughts.
God bless OWF. Thank you guys. I appreciate putting me over 1K, man. Genuine, sincere gratitude.
Oh, no worries, man. Anytime. All right. Peace.
Peace.
Yep. Wild Indian, yeah.
Hey, V, line them up.
I'm a wild Indian, you know I go crazy. Ain't really Indian, that boy fugazi. I just keep it player, you can never play me. You gotta ask another one. Then I'm back to the trap, I'm trying to double some. She a bad woke chick and I love her tongue. We some jurisdiction boys, we some one-on-ones. Look, don't compare me to no Martin dog, I'm like Malcolm X. Die by our freedom, we'll leave a crack and stretch. Round of applause, boy, you know we clapping text. Chucky dog, child's play, yeah, nigga, that's what's next. Open up the cans just like Arizona. Pull up masked up like we got the Rona. We set up jurisdictions when we buy the corner. How you claiming that's your hood and you not the owner? Be the B, I just pulled up in the need for speed. Free the land, tell the colonizers that they need to leave. Wild Indian up in my veins, you know how we bleed. You ain't gotta lie about who we is, dog, just keep it G. We at war, we can't keep the peace. Since we at war, gotta keep the peace. Whack a cone, then I meditate. Should I need to breathe? Keep a Olmec head when we slide, dog, cause we the shit.
Like my niggas said, bitch, we the shit. I can't keep the peace. If it pop off, then I want a piece. I'm just on release. I'm in go mode, motherfucker thief. In these streets like EBT, when we at war, make peace with me. I don't give a damn, understand. Fuck who stole this land, white or black or tan. Understand, it's fuck who stole this land. Might have seen me get little buddy these hands. He wasn't no abo man. A lot of these dudes is Sambo man. They full of shit like my ammo can. What they call an N-word out the wrong mouth as an ambulance. Wild Indian, get it in advance, or you can post date it. Ask around, I'm the most hated. Straight sacred, they stole acreage. Go ape shit, show ain't shit. It won't be televised, I don't tape shit.
Be the B, I just pulled up in the need for speed. Free the land, tell the colonizers that they need to leave. Wild Indian up in my veins, you know how we bleed. You ain't gotta lie about who we is, dog, just keep it G. We at war, we can't keep the peace. Since we at war, gotta keep the peace. Whack a cone, then I meditate. Should I need to breathe? Keep a Olmec head when we slide, dog, cause we the sheep.